But you had warned me that the lines were insane for photos. And that was true regardless of VIP. I mean, if you didn't have VIP, now I know you could reserve a slot to like do a photo. The lines, oh my God, every day to get in were so long. Oh, for everything. The meet and greets, even in VIP. VIP was the lines to meet Ashley Darby, to meet Jeff Lewis. I mean, they were so long. I'm like,
I hate to break it to you.
I'm not waiting in line for this.
I hate to, just like when you say David's always right, or I'm like, Sarah, homeless, not toothless. This is the one you want to go to, girl. It's a good one. And there we go. Just like when we went to Tom Sandoval and the Most Extra, she had a breakdown. I'm like, Sarah, that meet and greet that you went to, that's not like Tom's an asshole. This is disorganized. That is how I could write a book on how these things work. That is how every meet and greet works. You get there early before the show. You wait because they want to make sure whatever time they told you, everyone's there. Then you go. And then, yes, you have hours. So I know you didn't like that either. But this is how, not just BravoCon, this is how every 90210 music. This is how every convention is. It is mass. I just went to Rhode Island Comic-Con after the wedding that was out of the country. Mass pandemonium. It's just how it is. So yeah, when you go, but the difference between something like that is like, I don't even tell people, like I see Gina Gershon. I don't say, hi, it's me. I'm David. I'm behind the velvet rope. You were on my podcast. No. I go, like Melissa Rivers jokes when she was like, I'm going to go incognito. When I go to these 80s and 90s conventions, I go incognito. Now, some people, like I know Shannon Doherty because I've like met her so many times because I worship the altar that is Shannon Doherty. But in general, it's like, I go and I'm like, I don't want to tell you were on my podcast. I don't even want to speak to you. I just want you to smile, take the picture. Every now and then I have something to say and let's move on. So
I pitched us to Jeff Lewis, who I think immediately started to glaze over, but I didn't care. I was like, I want a picture with Jeff. I mean, wherever you want to start, because you are really the Bravo expert. And I was just honored to go because it was so much fun. But Jeff kicked off BravoCon with Andy, with Ask Andy. He hosted the first day. And I have a theory about this because Jeff was extra I'm talking so messy. I mean, basically said that someone died from Teddy Mellencamp's diet.
I saw that.
Went in on Monica, that she was the worst thing ever to happen to Salt Lake. She's so boring. Get rid of her, fire her. Crystal Minkoff, the biggest loser on all of Beverly Hills, the worst.
She didn't even speak on the first episode.
I have a theory.
Kyle hates Mauricio, he said.
Look, I think Jeff, because Jeff owes his career to Andy. I believe that on that panel, to set the tone for the entire weekend, I feel like Jeff took the fall for Andy. I feel like Jeff was super messy. So it took the air because everybody, and Andy is, I actually respected and thought Andy was even more brilliant after I saw him this weekend, but he's a media trained pro, right? So he knew that people were going to ask about Ramona and the N-word, Reality Reckoning, Bethany Frankel, Nene Leakes, and I was in the room for all those questions. We'll discuss. But Jeff was so extra. I was like, this is a strategy. This is a strategy to make Andy look nice because Andy defended Monica and defended Teddy and said he didn't dislike Teddy and Kyle wasn't his favorite. I thought this is so planned that Jeff probably said to Andy before, don't worry. I got you. We all know what kind of weekend it's going to be because all the fans are going to be hot to trot on these major topics that have dominated the news this past year. I got you. And Jeff came out guns blazing. Nobody was talking in that meet and greet about what Andy had to say. It was, and I just think Jeff knows the game and Andy knows the game. And I feel, am I crazy? Are you?
No, I was just going to, well, did Jeff Lewis hijack BravoCon? But I was just going to say, yes. Are you sure it's that? Because, oh God, David, I've worked in HR for too long. That's your view is very possible. I'm just taking it to the cynical dark side and I take it to the corporation as evil. Are you sure Jeff said, hey girl, I'm going to save you? Or was it like a boss man wants to speak to you in the back room for 5 minutes and he's like, you need to be extra and take all the fucking heat off me because I ain't spending all weekend, girl. Hold on, let me sip my vodka. I got a twink back in the room. I ain't spending all weekend taking the hits for all this bullshit. And look at this shit that's going on in Bravo. You're going to take the fall, bitch. like you get the heat off me. I don't know which one is it. One of you is maybe very positive, and my view is maybe
that one's it. But I do enjoy Jeff. I mean, I do enjoy Jeff. So I wanted to go to the meet and greet in VIP after I met him. I was like, Jeff, I mean, I did everything you never do, which I just went up. I was like, okay, I have a podcast. It's like, I've worked in radio for years. I definitely want to do like a show with you. I would fill in if you ever need anyone. I co-host with this guy.
oh gosh.
He totally glazed. He's like, I don't care. I shoot my shot. Like, what?
I don't do
give a
anything.
shit.
I saw Carrie Ann Moss and I said, hey, Models Inc. I know is the best show ever. You and Garcelle Bouvet. Then I move on.
Well, I'm sure he left going, oh, this fucking see you next Tuesday from this. I'm sure he doesn't even remember. It goes, oh, this bitch tried to pitch herself. I don't care. I shoot my shot. What do I like? If Jeff Lewis never speaks to me again, I'll be fine. So,
you know what is funny though? What I feel is I do feel that, yeah, look, these questions were definitely going to happen. I mean, look, the audience, the people listening to us right now, what I give people credit for is it has gotten messier. Like the first BravoCon, like even last year, someone asked about Ramona. But I mean, like when they asked that final question about like Julie and Brandi with Jeff, and it's like these listeners are shady. Like you guys go, I mean, not even in a bad way. Like you guys stand right up and you have balls, right?
Oh, I give people a lot of credit. They asked everything that we wanted to know. And Andy, look, I realize that where the waters have been muddied is Andy plays this like dual role of like a talent of NBC's and then also this
that's
producer.
Bethany's whole thing of like, girl, you're gonna find out what it feels like to be a housewife for the first time ever. I mean, Bethany is really not happy with him. But what? So what were you gonna say? So yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, you don't get an answer, right? You're not gonna get an answer from Andy.
You never get an answer. Look, everybody asked him. Okay, one of the big icebreakers of the Ask Andy was one woman got up and goes, Andy, we have to talk about it. Reality reckoning. And, he's just brilliant. He just sits there and, like he just has this like fake smile.
Like,
And she's like,
sure.
Well,
what's the question?
Well, what do you think about Bethany? What do you think about reality reckoning? And, he's very brilliant at going, look, I look out here today and I see people so happy, so filled with joy. And I'm focusing on the joy that these shows bring and that the women love. And someone's like, okay, but what about like Bethany, And he's like, yeah, well, I'm here to talk about how great, it's just like, so that was one.
You said 4,500 when we started, and Andrew Cohen said 8,500 a day was that BravoCon. I'm just letting you know the statistics that Andrew said. You're welcome.
Well, someone asked about Ramona and the N-word. What about it? Now, this was when Rachel Lindsay, the next day, Saturday morning, hosted the Ask Andy. She was, everybody knows her from The Bachelor. She was happy to see Ramona gone. Other people, Kenya Moore was happy to see Ramona gone. Yes. And Andy just said, yeah, she's not here. And that was it. But he does claim that you are going to see her on Girls Trip, that they filmed it and that she will be on. Do you think that's true?
Girls Trip. I mean, I heard that he said, Girls Trip is filmed. And so, because the person I think also said, like, is Ramona done or, is the network done with her or on the carpet somewhere?